Hello everyone, Happy New Year. This is Martyna and welcome to the very first video of 2022. I definitely wanted the first video of this new year I wanted to film it earlier and upload it earlier, but life happened. So anyway, I am so happy, so excited to be here with you and to start a new year of crafting together. This year in April, it's actually going to be my 3-year anniversary on YouTube, which is crazy. So I am just, I feel so inspired and I want to share it with you, and I hope you will join me for today's crafting session. So I have a few ideas for types of videos that I would like to introduce in this new year, types of projects that I would like to do with you guys, and I have a few crafty resolutions for myself, things that I would like to focus. So one of the things, and this is what we are going to be doing today. By the way, please excuse the mess on my desk. You really see the best part. The rest is just covered 100% with stuff. But so what I want to do in this year is I definitely want to use up some book pages, because you guys, I have so many books, and some I got myself, some were gifted to me, and some were kind of handed down to me because when people from my friends or my sister's friends, for instance, when they find out what I do, they kind of dig up all the old books that they have in their stash that they don't use, and they give them to me, which is amazing, and it's very generous. And the result is that I have more books that I can probably work with through my entire life. So I certainly want to use up some book pages. So this is going to be like a series, maybe throughout the whole year. We will see how many episodes of this we can make. And we are going to be making things out of book pages. So I hope you are excited. And today's project is very simple, but isn't it just pretty? I love it so much. So this is like a book page pocket. So we have a pocket here for a nice long tag, and we will make the pocket and also some ephemera, I hope, for this today. We have a tag spot here, and this is just some lace and beautiful fabric and a button, and same here, some sari silk, my leaf trim. So a double pocket in the front, this nice little tab. When we open this up, we have a nice decorated background. So I will show you these papers in just a second, but I thought, this is light enough for journaling, and these can be used for sticking down photos or something like that. And there's also a cute scrappy notebook here, so I added some sari silk and some lace and those fun staples. I have staples that I kind of like coppery. They look very rusty and I love them. So a bit of lace, and when we flip it up, we have just a few pieces of papers, mostly vintage, to use for collaging. So we have this beautiful wrapping paper, old ledger, old Polish, this is like a herb book, a very, very old music paper, and a French book, also vintage. And a fun thing about this, I believe, is that when you use these up, so you can tear them out for collaging, and when you use them up, you still are going to have this nice fabric flip, and it's still going to look pretty. And I also did a little bit of an indent here, hope you can see, because when I attach it to a journal page, I intend for this to be a pocket as well, or maybe a tag spot. So I just wanted to, you know, to kind of make sure that, first of all, I remember I want to make it a pocket, and also when I stack it, the person who, you know, who will receive the journal will know that this is a pocket as well. And then there is just book page on the back, because this is going to be glued on a journal page, and this one is the same. So just a different page here in the middle, the same types of papers here. So this is our project for today, and the papers that I'm using for the pockets, tabs, and also inside actually come from my shop, and I want to quickly show them to you guys as always, because, you know, I like to share my new kits with you so you know exactly what you are going to get. So this is Vintage Rose collage sheets, digital collage sheets, and I will link it below, of course. I already have like a digital main kit called Vintage Rose, which is more like pages and some journaling spaces. This is just for collaging, so not sure if you can see, but there is a lot of different kind of book pages, doilies, handwriting, a lot of different elements, and you know, they are awesome because when you if you like collaging or you want to make a quick project which is going to look pretty, you just take a piece of it like this and it's already collaged for you. So I think it's super fun. There is some kind of painted flowers and some vintage roses. There is some labels, so you can take a piece of it, and there is even a little bit like a spot for journaling. So there is 10 pages, and some of them have those vintage rose images, and some kind of have just a little bit of something in the background, and mostly just those decorated papers. So I really had so much fun with these. I will say that digital collage is so much more difficult than regular collage for me, so I admire all those amazing digital creators who make kits like this, but this is definitely not my last one. I had much too much fun. This is like a back of an envelope, vintage envelope. I had much too much fun for it to be my last one. There's a gorgeous document, some stamps, so there is a lot, and whichever piece you choose, for instance, for a pocket or for a part of your collage, there is something there, you know. I love those doilies and those. This is like an embossed envelope here. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the last one. So, and also, just a mention, I also have a Vintage Rose fussy cut element for you. So if you just go to my shop, which is always linked in the description box, it's called Teal and Tattered on Etsy. If you just go there and you search for Vintage Rose, then you will find all of those kits. But I also have this. This is 5 pages of fussy cut roses that you can use, you know, to fussy cut, or if you have a scan and cut, they would be perfect. I fussy cut those last night by hand, so I have them ready to do something fun with them. And okay, so that's my quick show and tell, I suppose. And now I want to get on with this, because I did this yesterday and I had so much fun. So what I'm going to use for this is this book, and this book is the Reader's Digest Complete Library of the Garden. This is in 3 volumes. This is volume 3. I have all 3, and this third one is kind of my least favorite because you know, what would I use an onion for? This is a gorgeous book set. So I got it on Amazon used. As you can see, this is pretty beat up, but I love them so much. The pages are nice and thick. The illustrations are stunning. So there is still, in all of the volumes, there is some color, but like muted, vintage looking illustrations. And I think book 1 is my favorite because this is like full of garden flowers and all of that. There is some vegetables here, and also I think, yeah, some animals. They are so cute. So no, I won't say that this is my least favorite, but yeah, this one I want to use today. And so I was looking at those pages, and you know, I saw that we have the text in 2 columns. So I was thinking, if I fold this in half, I would still see the whole text, like here. So we have pretty much the whole text on those, and yeah, maybe we could make something with that. So I took a few pages off this book, and I thought this is what we could use. So I think maybe we will make one of those, and then we will see how we go with time. So I'm going to just take one single-sided book page, and you can use any book page, or you know, any paper. If you don't feel like you need to use up some book pages, then by all means you can use a digital, you can use a scrapbooking cardstock, any paper you like. I also love this book because it has the most stunning natural kind of patina on the tops of the pages. So let's take our spinach book page, and I'm going to start by just folding it in half like that. And so this is going to be my kind of main body of this project. So for the front here, I am going to choose one of those pages, and maybe I will just choose this one. Or let's see what else we could pick. And I will make a project. I think this is the page, yeah. This is the exact page that I used for the other 2. So maybe something different. Some music paper, and everything is kind of in this vintagey pink tone, so I really like it. How about this? This is gorgeous. Maybe this one. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to measure. No, you don't have to measure, it's just faster for me this way. I'm going to measure how wide I want my pocket to be, and in my case this is going to be, the perfect width would be 6.5 centimeters. So 6.5 centimeters. Let's cut a strip this size, and in inches this would be about 2.5 inches. Again, any book page that you choose. Any book page that you choose, you just pick the size that works for you. And then, as you can see, I have this ragged edge here, so I'm just going to go and tear a piece, which is then going to be my pocket. And then I can also use this for another pocket, and this is what I did when I made those 2 first. So this will go here, and we have our first pocket. Now let me quickly go around. So I will show you kind of a tutorial style for this one, and then I think we will be making some tags and ephemera to go into these, and we will chat some more. Okay, I like it. So I'm leaving this not inked, and I just want my pocket to be inked to kind of stand out. So the other thing that I did here is I added a tag spot, and let me show you. Here's a random piece of ephemera. This is a tag spot here, so I just glued this cluster on those 2 sides. So let's see I have this piece of beautiful lace, but I think I used this one. This is from like an old curtain or something. My mom gave it to me. So I could use a piece of this, or maybe just this little piece that I already have here. Okay, now can I find any of my scissors, because I was doing fussy cutting last night, and so I of course use my huge scissors for fussy cutting. So they are in the other room still. Okay, I think I will maybe make it slightly smaller. So this could be like my base for my cluster. And then I also have a piece of this. This is also from a curtain or something. And let me just bring it closer to you. So I have this box of random stuff here on my desk. So I thought this is a nice kind of like a batting maybe type of fabric. So I thought I could put it on the top here for some additional texture, because this won't cover what I already have, because it's pretty much transparent. And then what else could I use? Let's see, I have a bit of this with nice sequins. Could be. I of course have a piece of this, so this is, I think I might have to use that one. This is very pretty, and some sari silk. No, I think I will go ahead and use this gold one, because it's just so bold and just so pretty. Just so pretty. You know me and my gold obsession. Okay, so I would kind of have it like maybe like this. So I am forming my cluster first, and I want to position those pieces so that I see everything. And then, not sure, well, you probably can't see, but there is a staple here. So this is how I first made sure that this cluster stays together, and also by adding this nice copper staple, it adds a bit of a texture. It's better probably visible on this one, maybe not, but I have two staples here. So now I would like to add a button for, you know, even additional texture. So let's see what I have here in my absolutely random box of things. I have vintage buttons here, non-vintage kind of jewelry pieces. So let's see what I have here. So I have this would look nice. It has like a little bit of a pink sheen to it as well. I have this pink one. This is very similar to this one, so maybe I will actually go and use this to kind of have something different. And so cute. So as you can see, I'm probably not going to run out of buttons anytime soon either. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with this one. And I'm not going to be very careful about stitching it in, because the only thing I want to do is attach it to my cluster and also have this little, like a knot on top. So I'm taking a needle, I'm taking a little bit of a white twine. Now I'm going to try to thread it, so sorry for being off camera, but I need it close to my face. Okay, just like that. Cut a piece. And so what I did, very, very simple and quick, is I simply went, let me just see where I would like it. So my cluster, maybe I would like it to be like that. So let's go and add this button here. So I'm going from the outside or from the top. I'm using this to kind of help me pull on the needle. It's probably a bit too thick of a needle. Leaving this here, and I am just going to the hole opposite this one and doing the same thing. It's going to be stuck down to the page, so I don't need it like super sewn through all of the holes or anything like that. And I'm just making a double knot here, 1 and 2. It's as quick as that, and then cutting those kind of short, and here we are. This I'm going to save for something, maybe for like a tag topper. Now what I also did here is I added some lace on the bottom here, and I had, oh yes I do, I was playing it with it I suppose when we started the video. This is just a small piece of white lace. I also have this one now. Let's see, maybe I would prefer one like that. No, because this is cream and this is white, and I don't want to mix it. So I'm just going to take a piece of this lace, cut it kind of to size, use my wet glue, smoosh it like that, and attach my lace. Okay. It's overhanging a little bit, as you can see, which is very nice. And then this cluster, I am, as you can probably see, hopefully, I stitched around with a nice kind of white cream thread. So the cluster was reinforced, but first what I did is I used some wet glue, and this is like tacky glue, and glued this cluster on 2 sides, and it holds very well. So if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't want to use it, you can absolutely just glue your cluster down. And I am gluing it on 2 sides, so here and here, to create my tuck spot. And I also want it overhanging a little bit. And then this can go, okay, and then this can go on my tag or on my pocket here, or book page. So this is going to be a pocket, so I can glue it on 3 sides, although I am going to be going through it with sewing machine, so I am not like too careful about this glue right now. I just want enough for it to hold while I'm working on the rest of this project. So I had an evening of fussy cutting, so I've cut out all of those roses, and it took me like hours. And then while I was at it, I also cut those butterflies. They are from a freebie that I offered you guys under one of the videos. I suppose if you just search for Teal and Tattered freebie, you should be able to find this video. Okay, so for the inside, I want to cover up most of this, but not all of this, so I still see the nice book page. And for this, I'm also going to be using vintage rose collage sheets, but I have also printed them on kind of like this thin copy paper. So this is copy paper, just thinner. Normal copy paper is 80 GSM, this one is 60. So I found it, and I just really like it. And I also like that my ink, I have an inkjet printer. It kind of sips through, so it looks even nice on this page. And I would definitely add something like this to a journal because it's just so soft, perfect for writing over. I love this paper. So let me see. I'm actually thinking maybe of adding this. So what I would do is I would again just measure how wide my inside here is, and it's about 13 centimeters. So I'm going to cut it at 14 just to have a little bit of a margin to tear the edges. And I think I like this side with the text and the doily. So let's go at 14. Oh, first I think I'm just going to cut this white edge. All of those papers are designed for US letter size, but I'm in Europe and I print on A4. So as you can see, you can absolutely print them on A4 as well and not lose any design. It's just going to be kind of shorter on the sides, which works for me. And you just need to find kind of like in printing options an option to fit to page, something like that. It probably is called different for every printer. And now I am going to just tear the edges of this, and I am doing it this way, so kind of, as you can see, going down like this, because I don't want the white edge of the tearing to show. Okay, same here. All of the edges are just going to be hand torn. I don't want to lose, oops, too much of this flower here than this side. And here as well. Okay. Now this goes to the bin before it gets on the floor. And let's see if this is enough, or I think I should tear a little bit more perhaps here. So it's still a bit too big. And a little bit on the side as well. Yeah, this should be perfect. And it is. Okay, I'm folding this in half because this is going to make it easier for me to glue it down. And then we can see, this is what we are going to see when we open this up. And I really love it. I really do. So I am going to ink the edges of this. So let me just fold it the other way. And take my ink. So how are you guys in this new year? How is everyone? Please let me know in the comments how your Christmas was, how your break was, if you had a break. How did you spend your New Year's Eve? I really wanted this first video to kind of, I wanted to film it earlier, but this week, the beginning of this week, I got my third COVID injection, and I got sick. I had a bit of a fever, and then I was feeling so week, and I've had a headache every day since. So I'm a bit out of my element, I would say, a bit unwell still, but definitely well enough to film this video. I was just so, like, I couldn't wait. I could not wait to get to my craft room and start crafting. So even, you know, even this fussy cutting that I did last night, it was just to be able to do something. It wasn't very creative, but it was something kind of, you know, manual, with my scissors and papers. So I just couldn't wait. So I'm just using my glue stick first on one side, and I'm going to glue this down. And I chose glue stick instead of wet glue because this is a thin paper. So I don't know how my wet glue would behave here, but it could definitely seep through and leave some stains, which I wouldn't like. Right, so there is this, and then I can use my glue on this side as well. So my break, it was so long ago. It feels like Christmas. It was just so long ago. But it was really nice. The Christmas Eve, you guys know this is, well, I've said it in one of my previous videos that Christmas Eve is kind of, here in Poland, it's the day of the biggest kind of family gatherings, and a big dinner and everything. So we had, my mom and my sister came over, and me, Darek, them, and Zuzia had a really nice time together. Okay, now I am going to take this hole punch. This is like, no, I don't know, I think it's 2 centimeters. So this is oh my goodness, I think 1.5 inches. 2 centimeters is 1.5 inches. And I am going to make not even a half circle, just a little bit of an indent on this side, so not the front, the back side, like I showed you before. So it's kind of obvious that there is going to be some pocket here. Now I am not folding this yet. I want this glue to dry, because if I was impatient and I just folded it, there might be some wrinkles. I'm just going to make sure everything is glued down. Okay, so while this is drying, I am going to take a scrap piece, maybe this one actually, and I am going to make a tab to go here, so it makes it easier to open this up, you know, when it's glued down to the page. And I'm going to be using my tab punch from, I don't know, is it We Are Memory Keepers, maybe? Doesn't say. Oh yes, We Are Memory Keepers. So I am just taking a scrap, folding it in half, putting it through here, making sure I'm leaving a bit of a space on the top so that when I cut, these two pieces stay together. I love the sponge. I love tabs, and if I didn't have the sponge, making them would be a bit more difficult, you know. So, inking up, of course. Let me put this here. So we had a nice Christmas Eve, and unfortunately on Christmas Day we had a bit of a medical emergency with my poor sister, who was feeling really bad, really bad. We were really scared. She's okay. She's all right. She had a migraine attack actually, and it was her first, and it was just something else, you guys. So my mom and my sister were actually supposed to go back home. I'm going to glue it somewhere here, I suppose, so it doesn't collide with my pocket. So my mom and my sister were supposed to go home on Christmas Day, but they had to stay one more day, so my sister was kind of lying down in darkness and, you know, in a cold room. We gave her our bedroom, and we are just like kind of waiting for the headache to stop, which it did not for the whole day, and despite many painkillers. But this was a migraine, as we found out later, so nothing regular, you know, was working. And we even had to call 911, or, you know, what's 911 here in Poland, and they said they wouldn't come for hours. And they also said it might be COVID, which it was not, but that gave us additional scare. So, oh, this was so scary. But thankfully, she's all right now. She consulted it with a doctor, and she got some treatment. So we hope it should be all right. Okay, so what we have inside here is this little scrappy notebook, which is so fun to make and so fun to use up your scraps. So I'm going to take my scraps box here so you can see, and I am literally just going to take some scraps. So this is vintage ledger, and I'm going to make them narrow and long, or one, you know, one longer than another. I think I definitely want a little bit of this beautiful paper, so maybe I can tear the edge of it. And these papers, I am making them to be used in collaging, but of course you can write on some of them. That's totally fine too. You can use them however you like. Okay, now this is not going great, so I'm just going to tear it by hand, and so we can still have a little bit of this flower. A perfect piece for collage. Okay, maybe I like these tiny flowers here too, so this is probably going to be my longest one. What else could we use? Music. A little bit of this very, very old and very beautiful music page. And then I also have some another scrap of packing paper, wrapping paper, but I also have a little bit of this. This is from Lorna, Tailor-Made Journals, a piece of coffee and avocado dyed papers, digital papers. So how about something like this, perhaps a little bit thinner. Maybe I will just tear this straight edge here, the tiniest piece. So if we are going with torn edges, let's go with torn edges all the way. Okay. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe something else. What else is there? Ooh, how about this tiny piece of vintage letter, which is on, like, I don't know, onion skin paper maybe? Not sure, but I do want to tear the edges. Okay, I need to remove those scraps because my sweater kind of grabs it all. Okay, I think I love it. Now what I did in the other ones is I also took a piece of lace. So I'm going to use the same lace as I used on the front and take just a narrow piece of it. So, okay, let me move this for now. So this is like that, my papers, and then the lace is covering them. And then I also used some sari silk. I just need to check. Oh, maybe this one. This is like a very pale pink, gorgeous color. So I'm going to take this piece, add it here, pick up all of this, and I am going to use my staples again because I just love the look of them. 2 staples, really pretty, and when you lift this up you have all of those nice papers. So the only thing I did is I just took my wet glue and I glue it. So we can do it everything with just wet glue and maybe a little bit of glue stick if you're using thin paper like I am. I love it. I love it, love it. And I love how this lace kind of corresponds with the digital image of the doily here. Okay. So there is that. Now I am going to uncurl this a little bit. Okay, so one more thing before stitching, or do I want to stitch around now? Maybe I will stitch around now, then we will add the eyelet. So I'll pause the video, then we will add the eyelet, and yeah, and we will use some book pages to make ephemera, which is super exciting. Very simple ephemera to go to those pockets, so 1, 2, and then something perhaps to go to the back of it as well. So I will be back in a sec. Alright, I stitched around here and I honestly did it just for the look and texture of it. And now I'm taking my hole punch, punching a hole in my eyelet, kind of like towards the bottom. Oops, I think it was still a little bit wet from glue, didn't wait long enough, but that's fine. And I'm going to put just a regular metal eyelet, the simplest one, through here. Okay. So I think I need to open this up a little bit more, like that. Awesome. And I used a little bit of cream eyelash trim, one like this, to add to it, and I just really knotted it there. So I added it through the eyelet. I made the knot, a double knot, just to make sure it stays in place. And it's just so cute. It's just a nice, oops, it's just a nice additional texture, isn't it? Okay, awesome. So this is the project, you guys. It's as simple as that, really. Nothing too complicated. And because we still have, I think, a little bit of time, I really would like to do some super simple ephemera to go into those pockets. And for that, because this is Use Up Book Pages series, For that, I will take another book page, and I am in advance apologizing to all of my fellow Polish folks, but I am going to use this Adam Mickiewicz Pan Tadeusz, which is kind of like a staple of Polish literature, but I have no need for this, and so I've already tried it to see if it would make me some tags that could fit into my pockets. I will need to make them slightly not wider, but what's the word? What's the narrower. Okay, and I have 1, 2, 3 of those, right? Yes. So I'm going to take 3 book pages. So like I said, people just gift me things, hand me down some things that they just don't want to use anymore, and they would probably throw out or give to maybe some charity shops. So I'm very happy to accept them. The only problem is that then I have so many, and these pages, like when I buy my books, I usually buy them with so I'm just going to glue down, so folding it in half and gluing it down, because maybe I need something underneath. Maybe another book page. How about that? I do have my glue book somewhere, but this is just okay. Let me use this one for now. So what was I saying? Oh, so when I buy books that I want to use in my journals, I usually buy illustrated books, or maybe with some photographs sometimes, if they are my style. But these aren't super interesting, you know, not kind of to add as journal pages, not for me at least. So I I'm very happy to use them for making ephemera, and as you can see in this case, I don't really want to cover up all of them because I love the look of a vintage book page. All of them have such different colors and textures and everything. They are so interesting. So yeah, so definitely this year one of the things that I want to focus on is making book pages, making book page ephemera. So I've chatted with my patrons in a recent video about some crafty resolutions. So do let me know, you guys, if you make crafty resolutions. So resolutions kind of concerning just your creativity, maybe some things, some new things you would like to try this year, something like that. Okay, so I think this is still very flimsy. So I think I'm going to take some tea-stained paper, or maybe even cardstock, lightweight cardstock, and glue these on there. Yeah, just a second. Alright, this is actually coffee stained. There's even a little bit of lace. It's cardstock, so I think it's going to be nice. So yes, so I was chatting with my patrons about crafty resolutions, and one of mine, and kind of something that has to do a lot with me kind of helping myself with my mental health as well, which I explain in that video on Patreon more. But one of those is to pre-make a lot of ephemera. So when I make my journals, I can make some ephemera, some unique ephemera just for this journal or this journal collection. But I can also just take those pre-made pretty pockets and flips and cards and add them to my journal. It makes it gives me so much joy to just fill the journal with you know, ephemera and interactive bits, and it also gives me so much joy to make those. So I don't want to, kind of my way of doing things until now, I guess, was that I would make a journal collection. So like I am working on 6 journals at the moment, and then I would make ephemera for it. And so I never had any ephemera kind of made in advance, because I would use all of what I made in this journal collection. But I definitely want to make some in advance this year, and I am going to focus on making it, and I will definitely be sharing a lot of those in videos with you guys. Okay, now I could really use my big scissors, but since I don't have them, how about just using this, because with those big scissors, with those small scissors, I mean, it's going to take me ages. So I am going to just cut them apart using my trimmer. This is a nice piece to be used for something. And I am going to make them just slightly narrower than they are, so they can fit comfortably. Okay, let me do this side first of the tags, so they can fit comfortably to those pockets that we made. And then this side also. 1, 2. So I really don't want to make them complicated or anything. I definitely want to use some of those fussy cut roses that I fussy cut yesterday. That was kind of the goal in my mind. And then I would also like to do some small tags for our tag spots. Okay, let's see if they were fit now, or do I still need them narrower? That's a very tight fit. So I think it's better to do it now before we have anything on them. And I honestly like long, narrow tags. I think in my digital kits, I think I only added them in my Blissful Birds so far. But I am making an add-on for this Vintage Rose kit because I want to, my next journal collection is actually going to be Vintage Rose. And I'm making a digital add-on, should be in the shop soon. And I'm definitely going to be adding some long pockets and long tags to go into those pockets. Okay, now this should, okay, this I needed to uncurl. It's curled like that because of the glue. Yeah, okay, it's actually perfect. Can you see? And we are going to have some kind of a tassel here. So now let's make them first into tags. So as always, I'm cutting one corner and I'm using it as a template to cut the other corner. Maybe a bit much, maybe this one will have a slightly different shape. Like this. So I'm actually very excited about this this crafting year. I have a lot of ideas. Another of my crafty resolutions is trying new things. So I have a lot of things that I want to try, and we will see. We will see about that, right? Okay, inking around very quickly. And then either I will just add the rose, that would be super simple, or maybe a little bit of some scrap on the side maybe, and then add the rose. It's just a tiny bit of layering. And it's a super nice place to journal, even this way, you know. You can have a lot, you can fit actually a lot of journaling in a tag like this. Okay, and you have some Polish language here. So yeah, so the roses are here, and let's see about this scraps. Now I could use a bit of this, however, isn't that too grungy? Or do I have another? This would be nice. And do I have another music page, kind of a different color? Oh, this would be nice as well. A different color of a book page. Maybe a bit of Edith Holden would work nice as well. Edith Holden is good for everything, isn't she? Okay, maybe this. Maybe I'm going to just go with Edith Holden. So let me take a piece or two. So let's say I'm going to want a piece of this, like maybe like this, and then here, or this one could be up there, so it's still just book pages, and then we could use one of those roses. I won't lie to you guys, they were pain to fussy cut. It took me a long time. Okay, I think I love it. Just so simple. And then when we put it into our pocket, we will still see this part of the rose peeking through. So I'm going to put this one aside. Let's see about this. Could use this scrap, and then perhaps this, maybe this rose, or something with a bolder color. Oh, I love this one. So these images from the Fussy Cut kit, they are vintage public domain images, which I kind of cut out of their backgrounds. Okay, let's stay with the book pages. So this isn't enough, I feel. So this goes back to the box. Maybe there's another heavy fall of snow in the night. Why not? Okay, and we will pick a rose. So I am going to quickly do this. And I think I will just make one because we are going, this is going to be a long video, I can already see. And while I know most of you guys don't mind, and I don't mind, YouTube minds a little bit, and it gives me hard time when I post longer videos with uploading, and also my computer doesn't do super well with very long videos because they are big files, you know. So I think I will do one here with you, and then I will make the other ones the same, but just off camera. So one thing I would like to add here before we kind of add anything else would be some stamping. So I'm going to use my trusty script stamp from Kaisercraft and my archival ink in the color Coffee, and just add a little bit of texture and interest, and a bit grungy, I suppose. So there is that. Let's pick a rose, and let's also think, this one is too big. Let's also think, oh, this one would look awesome. If I want to use perhaps one of those butterflies that I fussy cut, I don't know if the colors are going to go well with what we have. Now I would like to find one which I wouldn't need to cut off too much of the image. I actually love this one because, you know, those are narrow tags, and I need to cut these edges because they won't fit here. But I could also perhaps use maybe like a butterfly somewhere, maybe move it down and use him like this. Oh, I love it. I do love it, and I'm not going to be inking around the butterfly and the flower because I printed them on white paper, white photo paper, so they have a white frame from when I cut them, and I actually like how it looks, how it gives this well, how it makes them pop, really. Okay, is there still glue there? That's a question. I already have this clipped here to kind of make sure that I didn't have to fold it myself all the time. Oh, here it is. I found some glue bottles on Amazon, and I think I'm going to order a couple, and they are those well, empty glue bottles with, they're supposed to have a thin nozzle, so it's more like precise. So I would like to oh, I think I wanted the butterfly first, so before I glue this, let me quickly add glue to him. I would like to move my glue from this bottle, which I don't like, to a more comfortable one and more precise one. So I will tell you guys if this worked and if I liked them. And now scissors. Oops, little butterfly stuck to a gluey finger. Okay, ciach, 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 and oops, and ciach. Oh, I love this tag. Isn't this super cute? I really think it is. The last thing is, of course, I need something on top here. So I am going to add an eyelet again. And again, it's going to be just just a simple metal one, like that, like we had on the tab. And let me see if I can add something here. So definitely this is an option. We also have some sari silk, maybe some of this beautiful cream sari silk. I have a bit of this, but this is not the color for this project. Where is the ribbon that I used, that I cut a piece off to use in the notebook inside? Here it is, maybe this one actually. It's pink, it's pretty. Let's try this. And I don't think I'm going to be stitching around this tag. Or maybe I will later, we will see. If I finish some more, I will definitely show them to you guys in the beginning of the next video, so you will see what I did. And then we have this, and then it can slip nicely there. And so we have our tag, and I love it. And I'm just going to make, and I think I will make this off camera as well. I'm just going to use probably the same book page and just create a tiny tag, put it here, maybe add a butterfly, or maybe just leave it as like a book page tag. And that's going to be it. So here's what we did. This is actually one that we did today. And where is my other one? Is it here? Yes. So this is what we did today. Thank you so much for crafting with me. I had so much fun. It felt just so good after a break to be back here at my desk and just create. And I also am really enjoying using those vintage rose collage papers. So, you guys, I totally forgot to tell you my kits are on sale right now for the whole week, so until next Sunday. So if you would like to grab any vintage rose digitals or any other digitals, they are on sale right now. The link is of course in the description box. And yeah, so this is once again what we did. We have a pocket here in the front for a nice long tag. We have a tag spot here. This would actually look very pretty here as well. And then we open this up. We have the notebook with some papers for collaging and some lace and sari silk, and then we also have a pocket here, so we could also slip a tag here when we glue this on the page. So, hope you enjoyed this project, hope you will enjoy this series, Use Up Book Pages series, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon in my next video. Bye!